Good afternoon once again, book lovers of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. I am Book Nerd 802, and in this video I have about 6 or 7 books to show you, a bit of a haul because it's been a while since my last book haul, and it's December, so I consistently buy myself gifts. I even have been receiving books from some friends of the family, and I have many of them already, so I went to exchange them for other books, and I look forward to sharing the books I bought with you. The first book I will be showing you is Flashlight by Susan Choi. As you can see, this is a Booker Prize shortlisted book for the year of 2025, and basically it's about one evening 10-year-old Louisa and her father take a walk out on the breakwater. They are spending the summer in a coastal Japanese town while her father Cirque, a Korean emigre, completes an academic secondment from his American university. When Louisa wakes hours later, she is soaking wet and hypothermic on the beach, and her father is missing, presumably drowned. The disappearance of Louisa's father shatters their small family unit. As Louisa and her American mother Anne return to the US, this traumatic event reverberates across time and space, and the mystery of what really happened to Cirque slowly unravels. As you can see, this is a massive book, 450 pages. It will take me a long time to get through, and I'll probably read it sometime in 2026. Shout out to my mother for picking it up for me from a bookshop in Nashar, by the way. The next book is one which I am quite excited to share with you, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Many people have been recommending this to me um, during my streams, and I found it in a second-hand bookshop for €2 in relatively very good condition. Quite a lucky find, honestly. And The Secret History tells the story of a group of classic students at an elite American college who are cerebral, obsessive, and finally murderous. It is a haunting, compelling, and brilliant piece of fiction. Definitely something which I look forward to reading, and a book which was published a long time ago, about 30 years ago, over 30 years ago, as a matter of fact. The fact that it is still spoken about says a lot about the quality of the book. I have high expectations for this one, and I have a friend of mine who is apparently reading this as well, so perhaps we'll be able to share our thoughts with regard to the book. The next one is one which I found completely coincidentally, The Chalkman by C.J. Tudor, and of course this book is appraised by Stephen. If you like my stuff, you'll like this, and wonderfully creepy, like a cold blade on the back of your neck. Lee Child, the author of Jack Reacher. So, none of us ever agreed on the exact beginning. Was it drawing the chalk figures or when they started to appear on their own? Was it the terrible accident or when they found the first body? That is definitely very compelling, something which I look forward to reading. Approximately 350 pages. The font is massive, as a matter of fact, so it shouldn't take me too long to get through. And this one particularly appeals to me because there is no book title on the spine, just a bunch of chalkmen. Definitely a unique kind of book to form part of my collection. Next, I have a book in hardcover, which cost me quite a lot of money. It's called We Do Not Part by Han Kang, the Nobel Prize of 2024. Yet another book which I look forward to reading, of course. And I mean, I am reading The Vegetarian by the same author at the moment, so I couldn't let go of the opportunity to read this one. And basically, I got a bookmark with this as well. If you want to know what a man's like, take a good look at how he treats his inferiors, not his equals. Pretty sure I had this one already. But anyway, we have beginning one morning in December, We Do Not Part traces the path of Kyung-ha as she travels from the city of Seoul into the forests of Jeju Island to the home of her old friend In-son. Hospitalized following an accident, In-son, or In-seon rather, correct me if I'm wrong, has begged Kyung-ha to hasten there to feed her beloved pet bird, who will otherwise die. Kyung-ha takes the first plane to Jeju, but a snowstorm hits the island the moment she arrives, plunging her into a world of white. Beset by icy wind and snow squalls, she wonders if she will arrive in time to save the bird or even survive the terrible cold which envelopes her with every step. As night falls, she struggles her way to Insion's house, unaware as yet of the descent into darkness that awaits her. There the long-buried story of Insion's family surges into light, in dreams and memories passed from mother to daughter, and in a painstakingly assembled archive documenting a terrible massacre on the island 70 years before. Quite a unique cover as well. Not gonna lie to you, I look forward to reading this one, but it will take me quite a long time, of course. These are rather thick books, relatively. Next is one by John Grisham. Some of you even recommended this during my live streams. The Widow. She needs a lawyer, he needs a payday, and I'll just read what it's about basically. Lawyer Simon Latch is struggling with debt, gambling issues, and an impending divorce, but when Eleanor Barnett, an 85-year-old widow, visits his office to secure a new will, it seems his luck has finally changed. She claims she's sitting on a $20 million fortune and no one else knows about it. Once he's hugged the richest client of his career, Simon works quietly to keep her wealth under the radar, but it's a terrible mistake. Hidden secrets have a way of being found out, and when Eleanor is hospitalized after a car accident, Simon realizes that nothing is as it seems. As events spiral out of control, he finds himself on trial for a crime he swears he didn't commit. Murder. I've never read anything by this guy before, but many people recommend him to me, and I look forward to getting to know further about his writing style. Next is a book called Sea Scraper by Benjamin Wood. Now, this one particularly appealed to me because I thought a sea scraper would be something like a skyscraper, but in the sea, probably because I live in Malta and that is the next step as far as construction is concerned. But apparently, a sea scraper is just a guy who collect stuff from the seabed or from the ocean floor, whatever it might be, to sell, to make a living, and to continue feeding his mum as well, to take care of his family. And it's a pretty interesting concept so far, although not much is happening. But I think I have made it to a relatively interesting portion of the book where this guy is offered money to make a movie, the main character. And Thomas lives a slow, deliberate life with his mother in Longferry, working his grandpa's trade as a shanker. He rises early to take his horse and cart to the grey, gloomy beach and scrape for shrimp, spending the afternoon selling his wares, trying to wash away the salt and scum, pining for Joan Wyatt down the street and rehearsing songs on his guitar. At heart he is a folk musician, but it remains a private dream. When a striking visitor turns up, bringing the promise of Hollywood glamour, Thomas is shaken from the drudgery of his days and begins to see a different future. But how much of what the American claims is true, and how far can his inspiration carry Thomas? Haunting and timeless, this is the story of a young man hemmed in by his circumstances, striving to achieve fulfillment far beyond the world he knows. And I bought this because it's one of the long-listed books of the Booker Prize of 2025, and as you might know, I am trying to collect as many of those as I can this time around. And finally, the very last book is called Universality by Natasha Brown, and I bought this a couple of days ago. This is what the cover looks like. Pretty sure it's also one of the mentioned books in the Booker Prize list of 2025, and honestly, it reads in a very complicated way so far. Can't say I'm particularly interested. However, this is what's written. Remember, words are your weapons, they're your tools, your currency. Late one night on a Yorkshire farm, a man is brutally bludgeoned, or Yorkshire farm rather, a man is brutally bludgeoned with a solid gold bar. A plucky young journalist sets out to uncover the truth surrounding the attack, connecting the dots between a banker landlord, an iconoclastic columnist, and the radical anarchist movement. She solves the mystery, but her viral long-read expose raises more questions than it answers. Universality is a twisty, slippery descent into the rhetoric of truth and power. Through a voyeuristic lens, it focuses on words, what we say, how we say it, and what we really mean. This is what's on the inside of the dust jacket, by the way. And those were the books I wanted to share with you in this video, 7 of them in total. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Take a look at the rest of my content because Why not? It's absolutely amazing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.